What's up, everyone? I'm Scott.
And I'm Jason.
And you are listening to Liquid Carnage. My buddy, it is a very wet monsoon season this year.
Yeah.
I never thought I would see the day where I would say I wish August would be a little bit warmer and a little bit drier. Because now my weeds are out of control. I've done so good keeping everything sterilized and dead over the last 4 or 5 years. There's been so much rain. It looks like I have a lawn and I have a full rock front yard.
Oh boy, yeah. No, we've been getting the rain here in Phoenix too, and not just like little dribbles, but like 20, 30, 40 minutes straight of rain. It's been nice.
Yeah.
It's been real nice.
We need the weather. I know for those that are not local to the Kingman area, our main foresty area, the Wallapies, is normally on fire restrictions almost year round because it's so dry. Well, it's rained so much, its foothills look like they're rolling hills of grass right now. It's so green from the naked eye. So it's truly a beautiful time of year. It is nice having August in the 80s and 90s, not triple digits, but I am ready for a couple days of just dryness.
Yeah, it was funny. So last weekend we went to Tanya and Dave's house. Dave's been a contributor to the show a couple times, but we went to their house to meet Tanya's brother, who is from Germany and lives in Germany, and so he came and he was telling the story that I guess when he got to Kingman, he said, "Yeah, we come into Kingman and we hit a microburst," and I thought, "Oh my gosh, typical."
Oh yeah,
Kingman gives him a microburst from Germany, and he says, "Yes, it was insane. It was very hot." And all of a sudden, it exploded with rain, and I was like, "Oh boy, yep, there we go. Welcome to Arizona, my friend."
So, point of clarification: we're still trying to get you to switch to call signs to protect the innocent after last week's conversation. Call signs you created, I might add.
Yeah, but that was only for the party. If you weren't there at the party, you're free and clear.
Well, that's what I'm saying is though to protect the innocent of our social circles, so we could tell other stories down the. You know what? Never mind. It's fine.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you want me to use call signals going forward?
I would, if we're talking about those folks, I absolutely think we should.
Well, okay.
It also it creates more of an air of mystery, and just knows that that just shows people that we have friends with really cool nicknames.
Okay, very good then. All right, from now on, everyone from now on who we have a call sign for will get called by their call sign
to protect the innocents. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. And does that include you and me, or can we go by our regular names?
I think at this point we have to go by our regular names.
Okay, good regular names. Okay,
I mean, good. But you know, if you want to call me Socrates, that's fine. But I think you and I can stick to our regular names because I think everybody knows who we are.
Okay, well that'll work too. Then that'll work too. Okay. Anyways, it was very cool to meet. It was very cool to meet the brother of Mama Bear. And we had a good time with them, meeting them.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I had a chance to meet him this past Friday night. He's a very nice guy. He's having a great trip. So I'm happy that Mama Bear got to meet her brother after all these years, and he's having a great trip for his first time in America.
And I'm sorry, it's actually and I don't know if they told you this story. It's actually his second time in America. Mama Bear was saying the first time he came to America was in September of 1989. He went to San Francisco.
Oh, well, that's
arrived the day. No, but he arrived the day of the huge earthquake.
Oh,
so he had an earthquake and a microburst on his 2 trips to America. I'm not sure if he's coming back.
Yeah, this dude's staying in Germany from here on out. He's over it.
Were you fascinated how good his English is?
Well, I think that's common in Europe, though.
I guess. I mean, it shows how lame we are.
They speak multiple languages in Europe because there's so many countries so close that speak so many different languages.
I know, but the United States, English is not a close language for them. I guess Britain is, but you'd have to go over the water to get to Britain. I don't know. Yeah. I was just fascinated that we have a tough time trying to learn one language, much less more than one, and they just have like multiple languages ready to go. So
I think it's another sign of America's quote unquote superiority. We don't want to learn anyone else's language; they can just learn ours.
Exactly.
Take that for the eye roll that was intended with that too.
Oh, okay, yeah. There was an eye roll. Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds good. It doesn't. You don't see it in the podcast, but it's there. Trust me.
Yeah, his English was very good. I was very impressed.
So before we start today's topic, I do want to share another quick side note story. A few years back, our EP and I we commissioned a portrait for our parents that we ended up hanging over their bed in their bedroom of us as an angel and devil. We've talked about this, right?
I don't know if we talked about it on the show. I know you and I have talked about it. Yes.
Well, it's a 3x4 foot oil canvas painting. It's a famous painting, but our faces are on the angel and the devil. I am the angel, he is the devil, and our EP Tom is. So for Christmas in 2018, I had a small pillow, like a throw pillow, made with that same picture on it. And for the last few years, we have been finding ways to get it back into the other person's house.
Okay, and I assume that that there has been a shift in the ownership of the pillow at this point.
As of today, yes. Last summer, I gave it to my parents. They hid it in his linen closet, and he didn't find it for quite some time. Over Memorial Day week or last spring, he had some friends of ours that went to go visit him. His friends are used to be really close with me in our younger days, and so they've almost switched. Now they're closer with him. And we're still friendly and whatnot, but they're like his close friends. He sent the pillow down with them back to Phoenix, and our buddy's brother-in-law is the general manager of Chili's. So while I was sitting there drinking one day unsuspectingly on Memorial Day, he gave me the pillow in front of the entire bar crowd, which is a very creative way to get it.
Oh, wow. That is pretty good. So one for the EP.
I've been holding on to it, trying to figure out the best way to return the favor. Now, we have a few trips to Denver, planned in the upcoming months, but I know he's expecting something. So I started laying the seeds back in June of, we have a party for our volunteers in September. We have a volunteer of the year that really likes whiskey. I'd like to get him some Coors whiskey, but you can only get it in Colorado right now. So can you get some bottles? And in August, I have some volunteers coming back from a fishing trip, driving through Colorado. And if they can just pick it up on their way down, bickety bam. No harm, no foul. Literally they'll drive by, they'll pick it up, they'll go.
Okay.
So, he said, yeah, sure, not a problem. This is back in June. And, our parents are volunteers. So I had my dad just kind of pepper him a little bit saying, hey, don't forget the whiskey. Don't forget the whiskey. I talked to him on Friday, and he finally got the whiskey on Saturday. I sent him the money. There were no volunteers. What it was is I have a close friend whose mother passed away, and they're having the memorial up in Wyoming. So her and her fiance, who is a very large, boisterous man, said they would be happy to pick up the whiskey and deliver said pillow.
Oh, very nice.
So on their way back from Wyoming today, they stopped by my brother's house, who was in conference calls, quote unquote, all day, and was not available until 4:30. This happened at 11 o'clock his time this morning. My large friend was banging on his door with the pillow, and by the time he opened the door, all that could be heard was motherfucker, motherfucker, motherfucker. he knew he got.
Wow.
So
nice.
He got the pillow.
Very well done.
I got the whiskey, and now I have to make sure that I wait. Now I sit and I wait.
Do you think
so? It's a fun back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, and the pillow, I totally understand. Do you think it's a little odd that your parents still have that picture up on the wall?
No, because there's really no place else to put it.
Oh my gosh.
It is.
So every time they go to bed, the last thing they see before they go to bed is this beautiful oil canvas painting of devil and angel with your guys' face on it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow. Yeah. That's pretty good. Okay.
If you check our Instagram page, Liquid Carnage, you can see our EP holding that pillow, and just picture that pillow in a beautiful frame, 3 foot by 4 foot, because it's a very large painting. To get that up, and it's been there for years. And my mom's exact words were, "We have no place else we can put this. We have to leave this here." So
it stays with the house.
I mean,
Oh, that would be hilarious, dude. That would be
this
so funny.
it's a long run. It's a long game burn. So I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, good. Well, that's awesome. That's
That's
really
over
good
my
that you have
parents'
something
bed.
special like that.
Tom has the pillow. I have a couple bottles of Coors whiskey coming my way. It's been a good day.
Yeah, boy, you've definitely hit all green lights on that road, haven't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. Very
It's
good.
there's ups and there's downs in life, but some days everything just lines up, and it's pretty freaking good. It's pretty cool. So
Well, I've gotten to the point now where so I'm not sure if our audience has seen, but over the course of the birthday weekend, there was video that was taken by one of the members of this team of me in a speedo performing a very poorly executed front dive into a pool for the North Korean Olympic team.
yes,
Um, and
it's
I'm not quite sure why Noreen doesn't like watching the picture, but I looked at the picture and was not impressed with the physical appearance of one said co-host of the show. So I have put it onto myself that I must get into felt uh, physical fitness and look like the other member of the co-host team. So I am starting to really focus on exercise, like doing my exercise, my running, and eating better.
the fitness journey.
The fitness journey. It was not a New Year's resolution. It was holy cow. The North Koreans would be totally disappointed with that dive. And one of the person who saw the dive said, "Man, that was a pretty big splash." And I went, "Oh, yeah, it was a pretty big splash." So
That's the funny thing. I totally get that, man. My exercise focus is solely based on if I catch a picture of myself I don't like, I can get back into that zone real quick for
okay.
proper eating and proper fitness. But it's hard. It's been hard for
Mhm.
since the pandemic started for me.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I got COVID in December of 2020, and I was at that time running about 3 to 5 miles 4 times a week. I couldn't even run for the next 9 months after I got back from COVID. And just now I've started running again, but I can only go about 2 miles before I'm just winded beyond belief.
Yeah, it's when you look at fitness is something that you have to do consistently, and it's hard to say. It sounds bad, but the later on in life you start your fitness journey, the harder it is because it's not ingrained in you. Your body doesn't react quite as well. Um, if I could go back to my younger days, knowing what I know now, I would have started my fitness journey well before college.
Okay.
I would have put those proper routines in high school, in college, and then right when I got out of college and into my professional career. I didn't start working out consistently till probably I was 26 years old. So it was a good 13, 14 years before the pandemic hit, when I had no reason to go because I couldn't go, and to get started again is just hard, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I look at some of these people who just embrace it. They're very active. They're always working out. They're always, eating right. And I'm always fascinated by these people because they just look like that's like you said. They started at a very early age. They've indoctrinated that into their life routine, and it's so easy for them.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm going to jump on a bike and pedal 12 miles. Oh, okay. Or I'm going to go hike this mountain and come back down again. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that simple.
What's interesting to me in this scenario is the evolution of fitness and what it used to be versus what it is, and who knows what it's going to be. But I look back when I started, in the 2000, the mid 2000s. It was the wellness center, man. Like it was a local gym where, you had some weights, you had the machines, you did your cardio, and then you were done. And it took the director of that place, the manager of that gym, sit down and give me an actual proper diet to go with it, just to try for 6 weeks.
Okay.
And I lost, I think, 25 or 30 pounds in those 6 weeks.
Whoa. Wow. That's good.
And I felt great. I worked out great, but to me, it wasn't sustainable because he was a bodybuilder. He was one of those guys that competed in shows. So
Yeah.
he knew what to eat, what would work, and it worked great. But you didn't love life. I didn't love life.
Right. Yes. Yes.
and that made it hard. So once you get in that routine, you start adapting the diet. It's that we have some more flavor and some more fun. And alcohol is, if you can cut out alcohol, you can probably lose a lot of weight. But
Yeah. I think that that's probably a big part of
but
it is, I enjoy alcohol. So
but let's be real,
that's,
neither of us are giving that up.
yeah, like we have a friend, Killshot, who has like cut it out cold turkey. Like just he's stopped drinking it, doesn't drink it. He'll do like non-alcoholic beers and stuff like that, but he does not drink at all. And he swears by it, says it's the most amazing thing I've done, and I'm glad I did it. You should do the same thing. And I was like, yeah, and I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's right on top of.
I
I'm
did
adding my
not.
to-do list. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good
yeah.
idea. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, Killshot is really smart. I can't do it because I was talking to Noreen about this, and I don't know where you are with this, but I find that the reason why I don't focus on working out and eating healthy, and I focus on eating badly and drinking, is I have attached so much emotional pleasure and enjoyment out of eating and drinking because usually when I'm eating and I'm drinking, it's a social um, it's something social in my psyche, and so, like, I'm sitting with friends, I'm having a nice dinner, I'm having a nice cocktail, I'm talking, we're talking about life and talking about things, and so I feel like that's why it's hard for me to give it up because I've attached so much positive emotion to it.
Yeah, right.
Whereas I haven't attached, like some people attach the workout, the burn, like, they work out for 45 minutes and they're sweating and they get so much emotional enjoyment that if they weren't doing that, they would be depressed.
It for me, eh, you're right. It's what you attach to it, and I attached uh all my like emotional joy when I was doing CrossFit for 4 or 5, 6 years. I it was at a big transitional time in my life, and I threw myself
Okay.
into it, and it helped me cope with a lot of things, and I met a lot of great people I got very close with, and it had created a different bond, and
Yeah.
I I looked forward to going to the gym those days because of that bond, because you're in pain, but you're in pain with people that are going through the same things, and you love that you're doing it together. And I think that was part of the enjoyment. And I also like that I could lift heavy weights and move things. I was sore 4 out of 7 days, but I didn't care if I went and I drank 8, 10 beers over the weekend or whatever else, because I knew I was going to burn it all off.
Well, and like you said, I mean, you're feeling better, you look better, there's all this stuff that gives you positive reinforcement. I'm sure it was easier back then to do it because I can still enjoy what I want to eat. I can still enjoy what I want to drink, but I also know that I'm coming back to it. It's going to be part of my lifestyle for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and when the pandemic hit,
Yeah.
I was pretty consistent between a CrossFit gym, and I'd started slowing down with that and going back to a regular gym because I just didn't like being sore that much. It was a
Yes.
lot, and I didn't want to feel that way physically, because it just it got to points like, man, you're 39 years old. What are you trying to do that you're going to be hurting this much? Like, what are you trying to prove?
Right.
And then the pandemic hit, and I have a choice. Like, they shut everything down, no gyms, no anything else. So I was forced to like work out from home and just do basically cardio by riding bikes and walking and whatever else. So my fitness journey evolved from the regular gym to a CrossFit to a hybrid of the two to home workouts, where now it's kind of a mixture of everything. Like, I'll go to the CrossFit gym 1 or 2 days a week. I'll go to the wellness center 1 or 2 days a week. I'll, but I always make sure I walk 10,000 steps, no matter what. I have to have 10,000 steps. And I've got those circles on my iWatch. I have to make sure I close all 3 circles every day, or I'm up until I go to bed. Getting the calories in the minute, exercise minutes, and getting my 10,000 steps.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you found a way to turn something that may be a drudgery to you into a challenge every day.
But it was almost like an OCD challenge too, where I had to have a strong conversation with myself a few months back of you have a streak of overs. It was a 2-year streak of, circles closed, 10,000 steps, like meeting all my goals, literally 7 days a week for almost 2 years.
Wow.
And I had to make my peace with, there's a good chance I was going to lose that by your birthday, because I knew it was going to happen, and there wasn't a lot of space for those goals being achieved on your birthday weekend. So
I know.
And it's not your fault, but
it is my fault.
I had to actually sit and like talk to myself and point out that you're allowed to take a break. You're allowed to not have to get to these 4 boxes checked every day. Like you can, have a day off here and there. And ever since, and that was probably, late May, early June, that I had that conversation with myself, and I've been better about it. Like I still get it 95% of the time. I still hit those boxes, but it's not nearly as important as it used to be, because now it's a mental health thing for me too.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot too. Is when you're in your 20s, you work out so that you look physically fit and you're attractive to the opposite sex, because you're going to have to form a relationship and you want to look good and you want your partner to look good, right?
Yes.
Then you get into, now you have kids and stuff. So your 30s and 40s. I want to just be healthy and active because I'm not as young as I used to be. So, but I've got little kids running around. I got to, kind of keep up with them and do that part. Well, then you hit your late 40s, early 50s, and it really does transition to, I just want to make sure that I'm healthy. I'm not going to try to focus on looking like an Adonis anymore, because frankly, it's just too difficult to do what I want to do and become an Adonis. But I can walk to get my heart rate up. I can, make sure I'm constantly moving and not just sitting at it. So the reasons for the exercise transition, as at least I found as I've gotten older. I told Noreen, I said, I'm never. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I told Polaris.
You can call Noreen.
Okay. I told Polaris that I am not probably going to be able to get into the type of physical shape that you would be like, swooning over. But I just want to be here for as long as I can with you. So I need to work on my heart. I need to eliminate some of this belly fat, because guys are notorious. They carry it, from their neck to their waist. And unfortunately, that's where your stomach and your liver and your heart and your lungs, all the things that are important to living are all in that section. Women, they may not like it that it goes to their butt and their hips, but you don't have to worry about, that's why they live to be 85 and they have a few extra pounds somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Guys die at 75 because we carry it all in one section. Our legs are always strong, but
I go to the cardiologist this week too for my annual checkup there. So it's not fun being 41 with your own cardiology standing appointment, but it's better to be smart and safe and know you're on the right track. Health wise, the earlier the better,
But you know what the saddest part to me though is, when I think about it, is when I was exercising and I was, eating a little bit healthier. Yeah, I didn't like the fact that I wasn't enjoying the food, I wasn't enjoying the lifestyle. But like you were saying, I felt good. I didn't have stomach issues. I didn't have dullness. I felt, I didn't feel heavy. I had energy. And it's like, well, Jason, you like those things too. Why are those not a priority for you as much as, drinking or having the food you want to eat and not caring what you eat?
Yeah,
because when I was in my best shape, probably in my mid 30s, I was 185 pounds. I could run half marathon distance without a problem. I ate a lot less food. My physical health numbers were in great shape. So, it's like, yeah, you don't like doing it, but when you were doing it, you were in great shape. You felt good. You had good energy. You looked good. So,
I think for me, I need it for the social aspect, and I've gotten used to fitness as a social activity, and right now it's not a social activity for me. I have to go and do it for the body maintenance. and I'm having a hard
Yeah.
time with it. I don't have the people I used to have. I used to have to joke around with and know that I'm not going through it alone. I'm back to I just put my headphones in and go. And some people that's fine. They can do that and not think twice because it's their own self meditation. But for me, I like having something that's going to push me. And like when I talk about going to the CrossFit gym, I don't. I guess I've gone there long. It's a burnout thing where the coach can tell me to do something like I'm not doing that. Like I'm just not. I've done that, and anyone else that's younger and wants to, they're more than welcome to it. But I'm not doing that. Like I don't want to be in pain from what this causes. So no.
Well, now Sake has the Peloton and has the videos that go with the Peloton.
Yeah.
It's not a social network, but if someone like that is kind of pushing you and driving you, does that help be able to do workouts at home?
If you can take the live classes, yeah. But the live classes usually are coming from England or New York.
Oh, okay.
So everything's usually on delay by the time we get it.
Okay.
And right now, the Peloton is doing a great job of holding a bunch of clothing articles and other things. But
I see. Okay.
you can still download the app on your phone and iPad to do like yoga and whatever else with it. So it has its usefulness. It's just
Okay.
I need to be better about stretching anyway. She tells me that all the time. I know that. She knows that. The whole world knows that. But I think the fact that I keep getting told that is the big reason why I am not doing that.
How much do you think of anyone's journey to start with exercise is that when you first get started, you're so out of shape, you're so not able to handle some of the simple exercises that it's like, well, I can't do this.
I think you have to make a promise to yourself that you're gonna see it through for at least 2 months. If you can promise yourself that you'll do all the things and be consistent for 2 months, you'll see enough changes to where you want to keep going. But you have to be honest with yourself.
Yeah, no.
If you're not honest with yourself and you're not consistent, then you can't get mad when it doesn't work out. Because I think that's the biggest problem a lot of this world has is like, well, I worked out for 2 weeks, I didn't see anything, so clearly this is dumb. I'm not doing it. It takes more than 2 weeks. It takes like a serious lifestyle commitment and change. And you have to consult with professionals about what's the best way to get that change, depending on what your goals are.
I think also too that like I'll work out for 3 weeks straight, 4 weeks straight, and I don't see the scale move at all.
Yeah.
And I use that as my guide instead of, yeah, but you are getting your heart rate up and you are moving your body and you're moving it at least 30 minutes a day, sometimes 45 minutes a day. You're doing the right things. But I look at, yeah, but I lost a pound.
Yeah.
So what's the point? What's
Yeah.
the point of doing all this?
Yeah, you have to keep everything in perspective, and I think that's the most important thing is that people don't keep these things in perspective like they should.
Well, and unrealistic expectations, right? Well, if I just stop eating, then I'll lose 25 pounds and I'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be smart about it. It's intermittent fasting works. It's great, but you have to be smart about it. You can't just it's like, well, I starve myself for 12 hours. I can eat whatever I want for the next 12. It doesn't work like that. Like you have to. There's a method to the madness, but you can't just start with the madness and not understand the reasonings or the hows.
Right. Yeah. No. And I know that for me, the hardest part is because I do like to run. I like to go out for runs. And the hardest part for me right now is finding that scheduled time where every day, consistent time that I go out and exercise and run. And I Noreen doesn't like running, so I usually have to do it by myself. And because of that, a lot of times I have to try to find a time where I'm not taking away from our quality time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm constantly trying to fight that battle too.
Yeah, it's as you get older and life gets busier and there's more people involved in their life. It's definitely a challenge, but you have to make that time for yourself. You have to make those times useful when you do have the chances and ability to work out.
I love it, dude.
Yeah. So as we wrap up today's show, if you have a great quick workout routine that you want to share with the listeners, hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, all at Liquid Carnage. Or if you have some great autumn hikes in the Denver metropolitan area that our EP could take to stay physically fit up there, hit him up on liquid_EP at Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, it was a little, that was a good episode, especially for me because I've been thinking about it more and more. It's like, I'm not even doing it for, trying to be an Adonis anymore. Just improve your health, overall health,
Yeah.
and not don't worry about the scale, don't worry about, what it looks like. But seeing that plunge in the pool, even though I was in perfect pike form, even though I was in perfect pike form on the pool, or jumping into the pool, the splash was a little large, so I want to make that splash a little smaller.
Well, every journey begins with the first step, my friend.
That's right. And how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, baby.
That's it. That's it. One bite
Wow.
at a time.
What other cliches can we come up with?
Oh man, I don't. If you give me a
Gosh.
few, it's just.
I know we don't have enough time. The episode's almost over, but we need to come up with 7 cliches apiece
seven cliches for working out.
for working out.
Well, every journey begins with the first step. So
That's right. Yeah. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. I think is how it goes. Something
tomato,
like that.
patchouli, chipotle.
So yeah, you say Avatar, I say Dance with Wolves.
Same movie. Fern Gully.
Same
baby.
movie.
Fern
Exactly.
Gully.
Fern Gully. Oh man. Good times, man. Good times.
That being said, take us home.
Hey, thanks for listening, everyone. We appreciate you as always. That was Scott. I am Jason. And as always, if you never know quite what to say, just have yourself some liquid courage.